Hey guys, the build is turning out absolutely sick. I mean, look at that shiny black, blue, yellow. What's better than a good old sky blue XT600 Ténéré? We pretty much left off where we was last time, except I kind of pre-installed all the cables and did the cable management where they go. So in a later step we can then plug them in and get them all connected and stored in the right place. But man, that thing is a beauty. Absolutely sick. So before we start doing the electrical stuff, I want to install like all the peripheral cables, like throttle cable, clutch cable, and choke cable, so we can then route the electrical cables around it and we don't interfere with that. There we go, we now got it figured out. I guess we can take it exactly from over to this side here, and this will completely work with the bike turned to either side. There's no real movement in the cables here, or no big movements, so I guess that's a really nice location. They're protected, and that's probably also the location the cables are intended to go. Pull the throttle and you figure this one is pulling, so that one goes on top and this one goes to the bottom. And now there's going to be the tricky part of getting them really installed. Okay, actually that goes quite easy. Now the important part is that you make sure the throttle doesn't have like any serious free play here, and you also need to make sure that the throttle release cable is not like under tension, but it's just mildly, there's some mild tension to it, and it's not just flopping around here, so that's already good. And then just make sure you can snap the throttle and it instantly goes back into the off position, and also make sure you can do that with the handlebar fully turned in either direction. Okay, and once you fixed it to the position, check again that it moves freely on either side. So that works perfect. So that's done. Let's head over to the clutch and make sure this one works as well. Actually, before we go to the clutch, the throttle cable, I guess that's also the original position, is mounted through the hole here. And just make sure you don't twist the cables too many times, so they are equal length and they are not getting stuck. You can actually now pull that over and throttle is done. Let's take the clutch, which is coming from this lever here. It's also routed just in front of the cockpit, which is this cable here. We do have the choke lever as well here, and we do have the electrical cable going through the same hole here. So the clutch is actually meant to be sticked through this part, so we're going to continue doing that. And then let's just make some space here. There we go. And now for the clutch, it's a bit more important that we find the optimal spot. To do that, it's the easiest just to pull it out until it stops. Turn this nut to mark that point, and then put the other nut back on the tension. And now we are checking the clutch. Wow, that moves very smooth. We also have an adjuster up here, so I guess we do have some play in either direction. There is a tiny bit of free play. Here there's mostly none, and when turned in on this side it stays quite equal, so that's perfect location for that cable. Double check that again. It should have like a tiny bit of free play, otherwise you can also adjust it. Then let's take care of the choke cable. Here we do actually have like a lever for the choke on the handlebar. So I just route this cable through here as well. I guess let's go for this way here, so we don't really get too much heat of the engine to the cable and burn it. So it should fully pull out. So that's set up perfectly. And it just snaps back once we let go of the lever here. So that's also done. It holds in place. And once we are done, we're gonna make sure to put a zip tie around here to just fix that over the engine mount. I already added in the brake line, so I'm just going to show you what routing I used here on this model. On the newer models, the brake line is routed like underneath the tachometer, but on this one I just took it over here. And for the RPM sensor, so that's the one here, that's just going straight through here, through the frame, and then over to the tachometer. Now we're gonna get to the electrical part. That's really easy on this bike since there isn't much stuff. We do have the brake light cable here. I already installed that, and we do have the blinkers, the negative one and positive for one side, negative for the other. We don't use blinkers, so we can just set them aside for now and get to the good part, which is actually the main cable tree. So one part of the cable tree runs behind here, which is the brake light switch for the rear, and then there's also a cable which runs to the back, which is then the lighting on the back. On the other hand, we do have the power cables. The minus is already installed. I also installed a USB port. That's actually the cable you can see right here. So you probably won't have that, or maybe you don't. Other than that, it's really easy. We do have the two connectors coming from the regulator behind the battery box. And just take whatever plug fits. So this goes here, this goes in here, then we have that connector that connects to this one, and now we just basically are following the colors. We are doing brown to brown, red to red. And now we do have this blue connector here coming from the front, matching the dark blue here. And we are already set up. I'm just gonna store the cables a bit nicer in a bit, but that's already it for this side. When heading over to the headlight, we do have two sets of cables here, one coming from the brake light switch and the other one is actually coming from the on and off switch here. So we do have that. Now which one is which? It's actually, this one is the brake light switch. And now we are just looking for the right color on these connectors. And there should be the green yellow one coming from that side. And then there should be a brown one as well in here. That's this one. So now we do have like this white and black and the black one, what we already seen. So there is the white black one here. And then we should have a black one right there, which is going to be the negative side. Next up, we can reuse that same negative pole for the lighting, for the speedometer. So that's connected here, and then we need to find a yellow one. That's for the light, so they know when to light up the high beam sign and when not to. So that goes here. We do have the ignition key. Then we do have one part of that's the light switches that go on here. And the other part of the light switches in here. And now that's pretty much all we need, except we need to find a negative for this connector. We can use this negative one from the other light bulb. So that's gonna be the blinkers, one side, other side, and negative side. And now we have it all hooked up. We do have the horn here. Poles don't matter on this one. And now let's test if the lights work. We do have our light mask with the yellow bulb, just to make it an instant classic. Let's just do this plug first. And then we have another one here, which is going to be the parking light bulb. Make sure you don't touch it with greasy hands, as I do have them right now. So that's in. Now let's see if that works. I'm just gonna grab the key and we'll turn it on. Of course, connect the battery first and see if the lights function. And now cross our fingers. Turn it on. Wow, look at that. High beam. Normal light. That's just sick. Now let's see if the rear light works as well. It actually does. You can't really see it. But let's see if the brake switch works. Yes. Like this, it's very dim. But with the brake on, we do have it. So I guess that's a success on the electrical part. I'm now gonna clean up all the cables, store them in the right place, and then we head up to the next part.